We're now going to go over some geometry formulas. In particular, we want to review the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem states the following. Provided that you have a right triangle, and remind you that a right triangle is a triangle in which one of the angles is a 90-degree angle or a right angle. So again, if you have a right triangle, then the sum of the squares of the two legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. We'll just express that using the variables a, b, and c, where a is the length of one of the legs, b is the length of the other leg, and if c is the length of the hypotenuse, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now suppose we have a right triangle in which one of the legs is of length 4, and let's say the other leg is of length 3. What we want to do is find the length of the hypotenuse. To find the length of the hypotenuse, we simply substitute into the Pythagorean theorem, where we let a equal to 4, so I get 4 squared. We let b equal 3, so I get 3 squared, and that's going to equal the length of the hypotenuse squared. 4 squared is equal to 16. 3 squared is equal to 9, and that's going to again equal c squared. So we get that c squared equals 25. What I need to do now is take the square root of both sides of the equation, and I get that c is equal to 5. I only take the positive square root because c is a length of the hypotenuse, and it only makes sense for c to be a positive quantity. The Pythagorean theorem states that if we have a right triangle, then the sum of the squares of the sides, or the legs, is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. That is, if we have a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, the converse of that theorem is also true. And what I mean by that is, if we have a triangle where a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then we can say that we have a right triangle. So let's look at this problem where I have the legs of a triangle are 5 and 12, and we would conjecture that perhaps 13 is the hypotenuse. Well, if this is a right triangle, then it must be the case that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are going to be the lengths of my two legs, and c is the length of my hypotenuse. So we need to check, does 5 squared plus 12 squared equal 13 squared? We're not sure that this is the case just yet, so I'm going to put a little question mark over the equal sign until we verify that the equality is true. 5 squared is equal to 25. 12 squared is 144, and we're wondering, does 25 plus 144 equal 13 squared, or 169? Well, 25 plus 144 is 169. 169 does equal 169. Therefore, we have a right triangle where the hypotenuse of the triangle is 13.